Due to an issue with PowerTeacher Pro and Canvas, you may have noticed that all of your students were removed from the course at the conclusion of the course. So this is a known issue that we've been working on with both DEI, PowerSchool, and Canvas. And the issue appears to be with moving over to PowerTeacher Pro, how the data is actually synced changed the function of these courses. So when they end, it appears now, well, students are removed from those courses instead of just staying in there indefinitely. It's definitely something that we're working on, but you can imagine going between three different entities can be difficult because everybody's trying to find the solution on their end and work together. So that's something that's definitely a priority for me looking at it. But in the meantime, we kind of have a workaround to fix this issue and get your work back. So what we're going to do is manually add those students back in. Actually, the work isn't lost. Canvas does a really good job at backing up the data and having that stored. So all we have to do is make sure we add the students back in. And we can do that as easily as putting in their student ID. And here's the fastest way I've found to do that. You can go into your PowerTeacher gradebook and go to reports. And the one report you'll want to do is this student roster report. Now, you can select classes here. So what I would do is if it's all one course and you want to put it together, just select all courses. Or if you want to do them individually because they're different courses, then you'll just have to run separate reports. And then down here, you'll just have to add a column. So what you'll do is add a column for their ID. So you'll actually need their student ID number in there. And then I'm going to hop over to Format. And by default, it is set to PDF. Change that to Excel because it'll be a lot easier to copy and paste from an Excel file than using PDF. And then you'll just hit this Run Report. Your Excel file should download. And then all you'll need to do is copy those student IDs. Now I'm going to go over here and go to my Canvas course. So let's say this is a Canvas course that I need users synced back to. I'm going to make sure to go into the course and go to People. And then I'm going to go to this plus People button. And when I do that, it pulls up this box for me to add information in. Instead of email address, what we'll do is change it to login ID, because their login ID is actually their student ID. And I'm going to paste those student ID numbers. The last part of this is I have to go through and add a comma after every student ID. That way it knows that these are separate numbers. So once I do that, make sure that on the very last one you don't have the comma, otherwise it probably won't import the actual student IDs. Because like on this one, I'm at the very end. If I leave a comma there, it will throw an error and not import those. So just make sure you don't put one at the very end. And then I'll hit Next. It'll give me a list of students. And then I'll hit OK, and it will bring those students back in. And what that also will do is bring their work back in too. So you can finish grading, you can finish reviewing your grades that maybe you weren't sure if they went into Canvas or into PowerTeacher or not. Now, the one thing this won't do is do not try to sync your grades with PowerSchool when you manually enter these students, because chances are it won't work. And that's because those students, the data kind of sync has been broken whenever they were removed initially from that course. So you'll have to hand enter those grades into PowerTeacher, but it's still a solution to have the work there to where you can finish reviewing that information and make sure that your grades are as accurate as possible. If you have any questions about this, just let me know.